components. Number one, the first component is communication. That's 25% of prompt engineering. And when I mean communication, it is not how you write your English. It's not your vocabulary. It's not your grammar. It's about how you frame your prompts. There are frameworks that you have to understand, minimum of 2 to 3 kinds of frameworks for different tasks that you have in your professional life to be able to be a best communicator to this AI tools. And that weighs 25%. And the next component of prompt engineering is 50% of it, which is prompting techniques. Having the knowledge of 5 prompting techniques that you could use in your professional workflow will be 50% of it. Let me explain what are prompting techniques. You see, when you go to prompt, when you go to ChatGPT and ask it to write a 50,000 word non-fiction book, do you think ChatGPT will be able to write? Very difficult. And similarly, if you go ask ChatGPT to write a 2,000 line code for your app, do you think it will be able to do that? Very, very, very difficult. But both of those things will be possible when you use a prompting technique called chain of thought prompting technique, tree of thought prompting technique, critic thought prompting technique, reflection thought prompting technique. When you use multiple prompting techniques, these are like techniques. On top of frameworks, you have to have techniques that you have to use while prompting to be the best at what you do. So those are prompting techniques. And the next 25% of it is AI tools plus workflows. If you need at least 5 to 7 AI tools that you could use in your professional workflow, and at least 1 to 2 workflows that you create out of those different AI tools. Remember the presentation that we made, personalized presentation? We know how ChatGPT works, we know how Gamma works. Now we created a workflow out of it, right? We combined different things from Gamma and different things from ChatGPT and created a workflow. So now, ability to have the knowledge of 7 AI tools plus creating workflows out of it, minimum is 25% of prompt engineering. So together of frameworks, techniques and workflows will make you a professional prompt engineer. This is how prompt engineering works. And now the biggest myth of the century. People think prompt engineering is easy. People think prompt engineering will be just done by AI all by itself in the future. Absolutely wrong. Let me explain what they are. And AI, it's not just about writing prompts, it's about creating workflows, it's about learning what is applied AI. How can you learn AI tools and take it and use it for the real life business use cases? If you're extremely good at it, but in the most of the cases, the mindset should be, how can I be an applied AI expert? So this is how a professional prompt engineer works. So now you can't read your brain. Your brain will have information on how to execute that particular task. And that AI will not know. AI will just guess things and maybe write the prompt bigger for you. But that's not your thought. Your original thought, your articulations, how will AI know? And that is a difference between AI writing a prompt by itself and creating answers versus you actually guiding AI in a way that you need to get the best out of it. And this is why prompt engineering is extremely required. Non-technical prompt engineering and technical prompt engineering. Non-technical prompt engineers are the advanced users and experts of AI. These are the people who uses AI to the best way they could for real life use cases, real life business use cases. And these guys are non-technical prompt engineers. And technical prompt engineers are the people with non-technical prompt engineering as a base skill plus data scientists. They need data science as a skill, computer vision as a skill, or natural language processing as a skill. So they need non-technical prompt engineering, plus they need data science and a couple of coding languages and stuff like that to be able to become a professional technical prompt engineer. So non-technical people are applied AI experts. Technical people who have applied AI expertise plus data science expertise, right? Clear? Type in the word clear in the chat box if this is absolutely clear. Now, so you see, what are the different career options a non-technical prompt engineer have? Number one, AI manager. What does AI manager do? Pretty simple. Companies are replacing 10 employees with 5 experience of this very professional will be prompt engineering, and the secondary experience of this very professional will be dependent on the team he is managing. If he or she is managing a bunch of HRs, the secondary skill that he needs is from is HR, recruiting or HR skills from the previous job. If he is managing content writers, 10 content writers, the AI manager should have prompt engineering and content writing experience from the past. Essentially, you need to have one good secondary skill set from the previous jobs that you did, plus prompt engineering, so that you will become an AI manager. That is about AI managing. Things that are happening in the world of AI to the founder or the reporting manager. That is AI researcher. And then there is this guy called AI journalist. AI journalist is a person who have multiple skill set. He's like jack of all trades, understands multiple parts of the business. Now he will use applied AI knowledge to make things better in a business. So this is about AI journalist. AI journalist is an individual contributor doing the task of AI manager. AI manager does it with a specific team. And this journalist, for a small company or a medium level company, they don't need hundreds of AI managers. They'll have one AI journalist, generalist, journalist, right? And they will just, this journalist will just talk to different teams, different managers, and create workflows and processes and systems using AI. This is AI journalist. And then there is something called AI testing. Like I'm explaining different job opportunities that you have as a non-technical prompt engineer in the market right now, in international market and Indian market. So now you see, what does an AI tester does? Simple, whatever you as a developer, QA tester or all these people does, he or she does same with AI tools. Whenever a large language comes out, there should be someone who will be managing, this large language model before it goes to public. They'll see if the bot is racist. They see if the bot is biased. They'll see if the bot has good benchmark analysis with the previous versions, and they'll test every way they could with the advanced prompt engineering skills that they have, and kind of give reports to their developers who are technical prompt engineers. So AI testers will work hand in hand with the technical prompt engineers. And now, last but not least, who are these technical prompt engineers? These are the people who build large language models, who build ChatGPTs, who build all these tools and stuff like that, right? So non-technical prompt engineers who doesn't use IT skills or technical skills, but use AI in a non-technical manner to make things more productive. And technical people will use that applied AI skills, less data science skills, to be able to develop these large language models like ChatGPT and Gemini. How many of you are super crystal clear about the opportunities as a prompt engineer? So now, there is one person called Sasikala from our Freedom with AI membership community. She is making 2 lakh rupees per month as a prompt engineer who just writes basic prompts. You see, a Quora review on her said, as per my knowledge, it's not free class but paid one. For me, it is useful because I'm getting paid monthly 2 lakhs because of the prompts which were taught by him. And I just gave a couple of frameworks and techniques. She used them, and now she's making 25 lakh rupees CTC on an annual basis. And she's saying, I highly recommend joining the course. Thank you, Sasikala, for an amazing testimonial. Yeah, she's the best prompt engineer we created in a non-technical industry in Freedom with AI till date. And this is one of the examples. But what Forbes says is the hot new high-paying career is an AI prompt engineering. NDTV says you could make up to 2.77 crores per annum as a prompt engineer. It is almost $200,000, $300,000. India Today says the job of getting answers from AI like ChatGPT or DALL-E can pay you up to 2.4 crores. Business Standard says 1.5 crores. ET says 2 crores. Netflix says 7.5 crores is being offered to an employee that is into prompt engineering by Netflix. Netflix already hired them at $1 million if I'm not wrong, and all he or she does is just write prompts, use applied AI skills to make better movies and better workflows for people who are into media. Now, let's understand what is prompt engineering as a career. What are those opportunities from Satya Nadella himself? How many of you would love to hear opinion on prompt engineering from Satya Nadella himself? Let's see what Satya says.
Take the base model and align it so that we could deploy it in something like Bing Chat. You think there's going to be more jobs in the end when this is over? Great question, right? So here's the fundamental thing I think about. That lump of labor fallacy, as the economists call it, right? At least it's been disproven up to now, right? Every time there's been new technology, there's been real displacement, and that's a real challenge. I at least fall into that camp, right? So let's think about this, that there will be new jobs. Who would have thought that there would be a prompt engineer, right? When it is a job. And by the way, you don't have to have a CS degree to be a prompt engineer.
A prompt engineer being somebody who literally prompts it by saying, please do X, Y, Z.
So that's just one example.
And that's going to be a job.
That's going to be a job, for sure. And the job, as I said, like here's the
You see, writing prompts is going to be a job. Even the journalist got, shocked listening to this, just like everyone else does. So this is what Satya Nadella says, and you don't need to have a CS degree. So now let's understand a roadmap to actually become a prompt engineer, especially non-technical prompt engineer, and how can you use that for your business career or a professional career. As simple as this. Number one, you have to have the mindset and foundations. What mindset? Constant upskilling mindset. And understanding how can you tie up the tools that you're learning to a real business use cases. And having that applied AI skill is the mindset and the foundation that you need. Number one. Step number two is to have the frameworks in the communications that you need. Step number three, techniques that you need. Step number four, tools and workflows that you need, as discussed in the three components of prompt engineering. And number five, doing capstone projects. The first step is about you upskilling. And now you're implementing the things that you learned theoretically in practical way by doing capstone projects. You could be a business owner, but you still need to do capstone projects, not for your salary hikes or something, but to understand what you're learning, you have to do certain projects. And as a business owner, this capstone project will help you. As a student, as a professional, this capstone project will help you. So that is step number five. Step number six, if you are someone who is actually preparing to get a job, you have to prepare for it. And that preparation is step six for a working professional or a student. But if you're a business owner, since you already kind of did a couple of projects by this time, you will just implement and introduce and integrate AI already to your business. And step number six is this. And step number seven is to, as a professional or a student, you already did everything, prepared for the job interviews also. Now it's time to apply and crack jobs. This is the roadmap to become a prompt engineer. Back in the word roadmap, if you clearly have a track right now to achieve your goal of making more money with prompt engineering, yes, half of the world's jobs will be in prompt engineering, and those who cannot write prompts will be obsolete, according to Robin Lee, CEO of Baidu, a $50 billion company. That means we have 1 million white-collar jobs, 1 billion, white-collar jobs in the world right now. Half of that means 500 million people needs to upskill with AI to be able to use AI as part of their job. Everyone would need 50% of it. 500 million of them need AI in their workflows. If not upskilled, they could lose their jobs, is what Robin Lee says. It's 10,000. Even in the best case scenario, we have less than 100,000 or 1 lakh. But the requirement is 500 million. Do you personally think governments, universities and corporates combined together to create 500 million non-technical prompt engineers in the world? Yes or no? Yes or no? I personally think it's almost impossible to create 500 million in the next 6 years, 6 to 7 years. It's almost impossible. Almost. And this is where freedom with AI comes in. The problem we're trying to solve is world needs 500 million AI practitioners by 2030, and we got less than 1 lakh right now. And the mission we are trying to accomplish is to build world's largest society of AI practitioners by creating 10 million AI enablers in the next 3 years. Now, to want that task to be executed by AI, goes to instructions. What is the context behind that particular task? Why? Goes to context. What are the rules and regulations that AI needs to follow while executing that particular task? Goes to parameter. Can you give any extra inputs like sources, references? Goes to input.